So one day, I found a Rubik's Cube. Something like this. Well, not something like this, one with numbers. And I wanted to solve it. So I borrowed it from the person I saw with it. This was back when I was in school. So I borrowed it. I told him to lend it to me. Right? Okay, so I took it, the cube, tried solving it. I tried several times, but I wasn't able to do it. So I just kept trying until I was able to solve just one side of the cube, the white part. But when I solved this white part, the other pieces, the parts decided don't match. Only this side was solved. So I wondered to myself, just what am I going to do to solve the entire cube? It took me a long time, but I was not able to solve it still. Yeah, I tried, I gave it to others, no one was able to do it. And at the time, no one at that time knew how to solve the cube. So I thought it would be cool if I went and learned how to solve the cube. So I did just that. I went and I learned to solve this cube. And yeah, at first it was pretty hard, but I did my research. I went here and there, borrowed the cube from, I borrowed the cube from the person, and I went and practiced with it. Although his cube was a bit stiffy, it's not as smooth as this one, so it was a bit harder. So yeah, basically I did all my research, and after a few days I was able to solve the cube. But to solve the cube took me like an hour. At first, to solve the cube, like to trick someone, I'll tell him to like borrow the cube, then later on I'll go somewhere and remove the pieces and arrange them back. But that kind of, I want to be able to solve it in front of someone. So I went ahead and did the old-fashioned way. So after learning how to solve the cube, I was able to solve it in just an hour, right? So I just kept practicing. I kept practicing until I got the hang of it. Until I was able to solve the cube. I kept on practicing until I was able to solve it in 5 minutes. And I thought, yeah, 5 minutes, nice. So the next day, I went to school and solved it in front of other people. People thought it was cool. They were like, wow, how did you do that? How did you do that? Someone was like, come on, even I can do it. So I gave them the cube. And they were just trying. They went and came back, and they were not able to solve the cube still. So everyone thought I was cool. They thought I was a genius for being able to solve the cube, but no, it's just that I was able to, do my research and learn how to solve it. Same way you are going to learn how to solve the cube right now in this video. So yeah, basically that's what I did to solve the cube. Also, even the teachers at the time, they were all amazed. Anyone I solved the cube in front, they thought this was cool. No matter how old they were, or no matter their position, they all thought it was so cool to be able to solve the cube. So I kept on practicing. I wanted to like try and beat the solve it in a few seconds, but I wasn't able to do it still. But I kept practicing until I was able to reach like 1 minute 19 seconds. It was my record time at the time. So later on, I practiced until I was able to solve it in 45 seconds. Yeah, so that's basically my current record time, 45 seconds. Well, if I follow this method, if I follow a certain shortcut method, I will be able to solve it in 3 seconds. But that's only given some certain conditions. If you want to know how to solve it in just 10 seconds, like how I did, or you can even try in 3 seconds, it just depends on how much you practice. But at first, when I did that practice stuff, I was able to solve it in like 20 seconds. So with more practice, I was able to reduce the time. If you want to learn how to do that, click on the video on the card over here. On the card above us, above the video, you see the card. So basically, this was my journey on learning how to solve the cube. And after learning all this, everyone thought it was cool, basically, and I thought many people would like to also learn how to solve this cube. So I got myself a cube, practice, and I thought I would show you guys how I learned how to solve the cube. I'm going to teach you how to solve the cube using the method I learned. So let's get on with it.